Welcome back. We appreciate you. It's me, myself, MasterBruceCB with the one and only
DankFather. Bow.
Back at it. So the NBA playoffs, as you know, 40 days or 40 nights. I remember when they used to do that, 40 days, 40 nights.
TNT and shit,
hey, listen, you just took me back. And listen, this is all freestyle too. That's crazy. But back with it. Before we get into, our thoughts on the second round so far, we have to talk about the breaking news in the Ben Simmons. What type of surgery was it again?
A herniated disc.
Say he's going to be out 3 to 4 months. Should be back at training camp. What's your initial thoughts? I'll let you have the floor. What's your initial thoughts?
How did we go from before the series, it was possibly he could play game 3, and then when the series went on, I think when they were down 0-2, they were saying he could come back for game 4, and then they lost game 3, and Rich Paul and him had that meeting with the Nets. He was a no-show game 4, and now he's having back surgery. I just want to know, how did we get there?
That's a pretty crazy roller coaster. Before we started, I spoke about Ben Simmons and Rich Paul went to Nets management and said that his mental health issues triggered a back injury. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. That being said, that's some turn of events. I hope the brother finds what he needs to get on the court. I hope he finds what he needs to just be who he wants to be in life. Let's start there. But
yeah, because that's number one. You know what I'm saying?
But that being said, my brother, I need you to get on the court. Listen, you're 25. You got the best doctors in the world. My thing is, how did you not figure out your back was hurt until you got traded? How'd that happen? How were you not testing your back? Were you just reclining? Were you only reclining?
Didn't they say he was doing like 3-on-3 or something like that?
All I know is that, to start the season, before they kicked him out, he was participating. So
with the Sixers.
Yeah.
Okay. I
when
thought
the season
he was
started.
doing like he might have just been doing drills with the Nets. But that man,
that makes it scary for the outlook because, again, the first thing you got to think about is you're out 3 to 4 months. Well, that means you're not, doing basketball activity. I would presume you're just getting in shape to. Maybe you can shoot, maybe you can work on some things, but there's no way you're getting the rigorous, workout. We're having a herniated disc. That's just not gonna happen. But yeah, we had to address that because it just was too significant.
I just want to know how you go from almost being available for game 4,
knocking on the door. He's right there.
Knocking on the door, and then days later, you have to do a back surgery because you got a herniated disc. Something's going on with the Simmons camp. We saw it in Philadelphia.
Hey, listen, I saw a tweet the other day that got made in 2016 that was really like, this has been Ben Simmons since way back with the Australian team.
Wow.
Saying that he, would promise to play and then not show up. And then at LSU, he kind of did the same thing. So I don't know. The guy's young. There's a lot of time to, write a story. A lot of story left.
Yeah, but
the track record does look there.
KD, Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? They're on the other side of their careers now.
Yeah, they really need him. So when we made that trade and I was saying that the Nets won, it was with the thought that, Ben Simmons, again, maybe not scoring wise, but, taking a lot of pressure off of KD and allowing them to age gracefully would be what would make that trade a win. So if he's not able to maintain that, it's definitely going to be tough. So going into the second round, the game's actually going on right now. Miami Heat versus the Philadelphia 76ers. As I predicted, Joel Embiid is came back to play for this game in Game 3. Currently, the 76ers did start off hot. I want to say they had up to a 12, 15-point lead. It's currently with 1:33 left. It's 59-62, 76ers.
Getting chippy. PJ Tucker is getting chippy.
And shout out to PJ Tucker.
He's a good veteran.
really one of the very few, glue guys. I remember we had a conversation before we started, recording these conversations. There's very few, glue veterans in the league anymore.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few ones that you can actually still depend on and not just collecting a check and not just a locker room guy. A guy that can still bring physicality, a guy that can, hit the shot, hit the three-point corner shot, and, be asked to hold the best offensive player at times.
Yeah, so you said, like you predicted, Embiid back game 3. What's that on his face, Charles?
He got the LeBron mask. He's got the LeBron mask. And again, it's just fun.
He just drove to the lane and got an and 1, 64, 59, Philadelphia.
Let's go through a quick box score. Go through a quick run through the box score. Jimmy Butler, 24 points of 9 and 19 shooting, 24 and 8, 2 assists. Danny Green has 18 on 6 and 7 from 3. Joel Embiid, 13 and 10 in 29 minutes. James Harden, 15 in 25 minutes. I'm so sorry. And what's funny about that specifically on 25, James Harden has gone 12 straight playoff games without reaching 25 points, which is really hard to believe, even though he was hurt with the Nets last year.
I just gotten back to the line this quarter. He was 8 for 8 at halftime.
He currently stands at 8 for 8, so he hasn't got to the free throw line in the third quarter with 1 minute left. Tyler Hero for 3.
Bang.
And he makes it. Tyler Hero, he had a big... Tyler Hero continues to be a point of contention because we're having a duel about whether or not he's better than RJ Barrett. We're not going to go too much of a tangent on that. And really, I'm here to show Tyler Hero some love. So in the first game, in game 1. Is this game 1?
Back-to-back threes by Hero.
All right, you can edit me questioning and then keep the back-to-back threes from Hero. And yeah, Tyler Hero had a 25-point game, 4-6 from 3, 7 assists, 9-17 game in the playoffs. You got to give him some respect. So, all right.
But what was your initial prediction on this series?
I was saying that I believe if Embiid came back in game 2, I would go 6 potentially. But with him only coming back at game 3, I was saying that game 5.
All right, so I think I predicted game 5. I think I did 5 or 6. I didn't put out a real answer. I was rolling with 5. I think Miami gonna take care of them in 5.
Definitely.
I just think that they're looking real good out here.
Yeah, the Heat, like I said, the only question I have with the Heat is, do they have enough offense?
Offense, yeah.
They're definitely going to defend you well, but do they have enough offense to scare you? If Jimmy Butler isn't on, are the heroes of the world going to continue to step up?
It's looking like he might be the primary scorer.
And everybody plays off it.
Because he's averaging a dub already, which is shocking.
I definitely was shocked when I saw it. That Tyler Hero.
Shout out to Tyler Hero,
Salute, my brother.
In the situations, you got to
salute Jack Harlow.
Do your thing, man.
So let's go Bucks Celtics. So as we both said, Jaylen Brown came to play. Game 2, after that game when he had 12 points, I knew there was no way that he was gonna not come back with a vengeance, not come back ready to play. So do me a favor. What was Jaylen Brown's number?
Jaylen Brown had 30 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, off 11 of 18 shooting, 6 from 10 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line, a block and 2 steals.
That dominated throughout. I want to say you have 20 in the first half, something
like that. And then Tatum backdoor with a 29, 3 rebound, 8 assist game, 10 for 20 shooting, 5 for 10 from 3. And that 1-2 punch. That's why I initially picked the Celtics in 6. The last video I thought after first game maybe Milwaukee, but I did stick with my pick, so it's 1-1 right now. Game 3 is tomorrow.
As we record this, the game is tomorrow. I'm gonna say I still think the Bucks are gonna win. I think it was definitely impressive for them to come out and respect home court. The Celtics knew they couldn't go down 2-0. Going back to Miami. I'm sorry, going back to the mean streets of Milwaukee. So I definitely give him credit for that. Giannis, again, is getting bottled up pretty well. Al Horford, I can't say it enough how much I respect what Al Horford is doing. You know, a lot of people laughed, myself included, when they traded for Al Horford to OKC. I laughed at it. I thought it was a crazy decision not only to give up assets, but to take on his contract, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. So my last thoughts on the Boston Celtics series, I still think the Celtics, while Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum show what they can do, in one of my first YouTube videos I put out, I was saying I think the NBA is changing to the point where 2 guards are really the way to go to try to win a championship. Build around 2 guards, preferably large guards in the sense of 6'7", 6'8", and up, and then build the pieces around that to just fit around the way they play, and that way you can dominate a game. But that being said, until the champs go down, I'm still riding with the champs. So,
my final thoughts on Milwaukee and Boston. Like I said, man, I picked Celtics in 6, so riding with the ship until it go down. I think they came out game 2 and played well. What is the series shifting to Milwaukee now? Yeah, Boston had home court, so it's shifting.
Which is crazy thinking about how the season went.
Yeah, so hopefully they could get one of these 2 next games on the road. They come back game 5, 2-2. All right, so let's get into the Mavs Suns next. Suns are up 2-0 so far. Luka, oh man, Luka's been playing amazing. What do you have? 45 and 12 the first game.
Yeah, Luka's definitely showing that he can score on whoever. Size doesn't matter. You put someone small on him, he dominates him. You put a big on him, he's too slow. Yeah, he's got the total package. Not really sure how you hold Luka Doncic these days, especially the way he's shooting the ball from 3. It's next level. When you look at all-time playoff history, with at least 7 attempts, he's averaging 38.7% from the field on 7 attempts. That's pretty insane.
That's impressive, man.
For that,
is he only in his 4th season?
And that's third all time to Klay Thompson at 41.7, Steph at 40.1, and then he's a Fred of Dame at 36.9. Shout out to Nick Wright for the stat.
Luka's been playing great, man.
Jalen Brunson, we mentioned in the last pod. Jalen Brunson has definitely not adapted well to the difference in defense. Has not adapted well to the length and athleticism that has been presented to him by the Suns defense. And also, like I said, the DeAndre Ayton is pretty much doing what he wants. It's gonna be tough for them to overcome what the Suns can do, because they can come at them in waves. Either Chris Paul is dominating, or Devin Booker. I didn't realize that Devin Booker led the league in first quarter scoring with 11. If I'm not mistaken, if it was 11.
He's averaging 26 and a half, 6.5, and 6 in this series so far. So,
and last episode, I made a comment that Luka Doncic was the best player in the series, stating that I believe that he's better than Devin Booker, and I do believe that's a bold statement. With that being said, the way I categorize when I say a person is better than another player, I say if I had to start my team from scratch, which one would I rather have? And that being said, if I was starting my team from scratch, I would prefer Luka Doncic. And that's no disrespect to Devin Booker, who I do believe is a great player and still has room to grow, still young. Had a 72-point game early, so show that he's has that mentality. So I had a couple weird moments.
Great offensive player, about 6'5", 6'6". Can get to the basket, shoot the 3, got the mid range. He's one of the top scorers in the league, if you ask me. And
good stout at the 6'5". I remember that pick he set in the finals that led to the alley-oop.
Yeah.
A lot of players would have fell on that pick.
Yeah.
A lot of players would have fell on that pick, and which would have led to a foul, or I'm not sure if they were in a penalty or not.
He's just coming off the hamstring too, and he's putting up good numbers. So
last game he only missed 2 games, 1 game. And with a hamstring, that's significant, because usually those linger, and you don't want a player to go through that.
So we both said Suns in 7. You've seen the first 2 games in the series so far. What you think gonna happen?
Man, I definitely don't think they're gonna get swept. Obviously 0-2 a lot of, the first thing people say are you're going to get swept. Game 3 is mandatory. But when I look at it, I still think that the Mavericks are going to compete. It is starting to look more like a 6-game series. From the simple fact that they have no answer for DeAndre Ayton, especially when everybody's clicking, which they have been. Crowder's playing well. He surpassed Anthony, to go back to another point, he surpassed Anthony Davis in playoff points all time. I definitely see the Suns as a legitimate threat to win the championship. They're a legit championship team. I feel like they have a little bit of everything. You got glue guys like Bridges,
Crowder.
To go along with your stars with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Aiden. That's pretty significant. So I'm not really. Again, but Luka Magic has been there. They've been close. They came back in a lot of games. Cleveland's been shooting the ball really well. We didn't mention it last episode. It's kind of crazy. Tim Hardaway just not playing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he broke his foot.
Oh man.
Yeah, didn't even think about that. So the Mavericks I think they're playing above their heads a little bit. But again, when you have a player as talented as Luka Doncic, you're able to do so.
Yeah.
And again, last but not least, the thing is crazy now I think about it. I think we left them last episode.
Time, yeah. Let me just finish up my thoughts on the Suns versus the Mavs. I'm gonna make it quick. I predict this to get 7 games. I think I'm gonna still ride with my pick. So hopefully Dallas can hold down the home court and get these next 2 games and make it a good
Mark Cuban
series.
gonna have the stadium jumping.
Yeah, that's a fact. So
that
let's
is
get
a
into,
beautiful stadium, man.
like you said, we left them last on the last episode, and then
We can start them first next time.
we're
gonna start first next time.
Warriors, Memphis,
Ja
Morant, man.
So again, we talked about how the Memphis lost game 1, heartbreaker by 1 point. They definitely came out with intensity this game in game 2, led by their star Ja Morant. Ja Morant is definitely showing. I've never seen a player. Well, I guess I can't say never, because Allen Iverson definitely showed a lot of that. But a guy that slight of build, be able to get to the basket and do relatively whatever he wants, and just keep getting up.
15 for 31 shooting in game 2. He had 47 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 for 12 from 3. And that's really interesting because the last series he had 4 for 20 from the 3-point line. And he's 9 for 23 so far in this series against the Warriors. So he's being aggressive. He's shooting the 3 confident.
And he's going at Steph.
Yeah, he's going at Steph. It's a real good matchup. After that game 2, he had some words for Steph. So.
Yeah, saying it's going to be fun. That's, you can't, sometimes, they say you want to let sleeping dogs lie. Because Steph Curry hasn't really just had a crazy game in this series. So, I don't know if you just sparked something. It really, actually, you know what? I'm going on a limb. Because I know there's no way Steph Curry is going to let this young guy on TNT primetime.
Then again, the pressure, we'll see.
Nah, Steph Curry, he's coming out.
Curry,
I'm saying
the truth.
not
disrespect that, man.
What I think Steph Curry is gonna do, let me predict this off. We gonna do a little freestyle. I'm gonna say these next 2 games, Steph Curry is going for 43 and then 35. These next 2 games.
I was smelling a 40-point game. Maybe
I think
for game 3.
I think he's getting 45. I don't think Steph Curry is gonna let that youngster walk off the court saying that on prime time and not show him something. And no disrespect to Ja Morant, because he's definitely showing he can lead the team. Definitely showing that he's really here. I don't know how on earth he was in the MIP conversations.
That's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I think it would have been better if they had just put him in the MVP race, maybe 3rd, 4th place.
My conspiracy.
That would have been more respectable than the most improved.
But my thought process, because again I do conspiracy theories, I believe that the NBA wanted to reward this team and him specifically, but they knew they couldn't give him MVP with how well they played without him. So they wanted to give him something, reward that team, because again, no one's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year or nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's what that was more than anything. But again, he's definitely tremendous player. I think he's too talented to be even considered as most improved because of how good he was last year. Shit, is that it?
Dylan Brooks had an interesting play in game 2.
Okay, we're watching it live. Okay, going up. Ooh, yeah, that's a tough play.
That's tough.
We're watching the play on Gary Payton. The Gary Payton Jr. is going up, watching from the back. I hate to make so many sound effects when you can't say it. Ooh, that's right across the head. Hey, listen, that's you owe me some money. Hey, that's a you owe me some money, and I've been
dirty play?
Is it dirty? Yes, that's a dirty play. Man, one more time. Wait, one last time. Let me see one last time. It's tough because I think he wanted to make a play on the ball.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to. It was just like a knucklehead, like, what do you think? Like, how do you think you could get there type of move? And the fact that he beamed him across the head.
Yeah.
And he fractured his arm. And he was starting for him. Gary Payton Jr. was starting for him. You know, really putting a niche out. And Charles Barkley said it best: young kids, if you're listening, fall on your butt cheeks. Do not, if you're falling from a high ground, put your arms down. That's a good way to
fall. That's
That's a way to get a sprain real quick. It's tough. I hope we find a way to, maybe get back. If they advance, which I do predict them to do so.
Young player that wasn't really highly touted coming in, but he made his way on a roster. And he got a spot on a championship contender.
Especially when you're the lineage, you got the pedigree, your pops in the league, especially a great player at that. You definitely want to, make your name in the league. And I am impressed and proud that he has been able to do so.
I'd say, was it a dirty play in today's league?
Yeah, yeah. If this was in the 90s, no.
Yeah.
He was going for the ball, hard playoff foul. So that is tough too, growing up watching 90s basketball. Different game, but again, it is what it is. That wasn't too bad. One last, here we go.
Yeah, so I had Warriors in 6. I had Warriors in 5. I think you had Warriors in 6.
Well, no, I think I said 5 as well. Maybe 6. I think I said maybe 6 to show respect.
Didn't really put a number on it.
To show respect because again their season was good. And is John Morant the best player in that series?
To be determined. He's definitely looking like it so far in the first 2 games. He's putting up big numbers.
He's looking like he can be for sure.
Yeah.
He's looking like he can be.
This is when the series gets real, man. It's 1-1. Now they're going into Golden State. Let's see if they could perform at a high level like they've been all season.
Yeah, like you said, 43, 45 from Curry, game 3, and 30. I think he's gonna come back with 35. And also Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson may not have the game 3 we want, but I think next game he's gonna have about 18 to 23, and then I think he's gonna have a big game 4. And I think Klay Thompson in game 4 is going to have about 27 5-made threes. And again, I think they're going to win about 5 or 6. Because John Morant, he might be able to get another one. Who knows?
Yeah.
So, but there it is.
Good basketball, man. Good basketball to see in these next couple of days. It's nothing like playoff basketball.
Nothing.
Man.
You're going to be hearing from us. You're going to be hearing from us. All right, so where can they find you?
At DankFather. On all platforms.
And where you can find myself, Spotify, MasterBruceCB, as well as Twitter and YouTube, and on Instagram, just MasterBruce. Do us a favor, don't hoe us like you don't know us. Send it to a buddy.
Leave a comment, hit the like button, subscribe.
And then let us know if you have some other thoughts, something you want us to touch on, some different things like that. We're here for you. We appreciate you. Until next time.